They've staked a claim to thousands of acres of what were sandbars and reefs. They've used sophisticated equipment like these ships.
Across the globe, a silent race is reshaping coastlines. With advanced dredging ships and engineering feats once thought impossible, governments and developers are turning sandbars and shallow reefs into thriving urban playgrounds and economic engines. From shimmering hubs rising from the sea to sprawling, self-contained metropolises, artificial islands have become symbols of ambition, innovation, and sometimes controversy. One of the most significant transformations is taking place off Dubai's coast. Originally known as Palm Dira, the now rebranded Dubai Islands reflect a dramatic shift in vision. Launched in 2004 by Nakheel, the state-backed real estate giant behind the Palm trilogy, the initial plan aimed to create the largest palm-shaped island in the world. Spanning 80 square kilometers, it was to feature a dense mix of residences, commercial centers, and leisure zones for over 1 million residents. However, the 2008 financial crisis and spiraling construction costs put the brakes on the original concept. Years later, in 2022, the project was redesigned as Dubai Islands, a cluster of 5 interconnected islands totaling around 17 square kilometers. Moving away from the palm design, the new vision embraces flexibility, modular urbanism, and sustainability. Rather than focusing solely on ultra-luxury villas, it includes public beaches, mixed-use neighborhoods, and recreational zones. Positioned near Dubai's historic Deira district, this project is not just an island, it's a cultural and ecological reinvention. Bridges and roads will connect it seamlessly to the mainland, and green architecture will minimize environmental impact. Unlike earlier land reclamation efforts that disrupted marine ecosystems, this new phase incorporates systems to ensure healthy water circulation and habitat restoration. While Dubai Islands is still taking shape, Qatar's Pearl Island has already become a glittering reality. Floating off the coast of Doha's West Bay Lagoon, this 4 square kilometer development combines high-end living with retail, hospitality, and cultural experiences. Spearheaded by United Development Company with design input from global architecture firm Callison RTKL, the Pearl was designed to be both a symbol of Qatar's past and a beacon for its future. Its name pays tribute to the nation's pearl diving legacy, while its Mediterranean-style architecture evokes a European coastal town. The Pearl was the first place in Qatar where foreigners could purchase freehold property, transforming it into a global magnet for elite investors. Villas, sleek towers, and waterfront condos form a residential palette that has seen skyrocketing prices and limited availability. With an eventual capacity for over 45,000 residents and tens of thousands more visiting for business or pleasure, it functions as a city unto itself. Porto Arabia is its most vibrant district, offering marina views, designer shops, and 5-star restaurants. Other precincts like Canat Quartier mirror the charm of Venice, with canals and pedestrian bridges, while Viva Bahia caters to families with resort-style amenities and private beaches. This project is a cornerstone of Qatar's Vision 2030, which aims to diversify the economy beyond hydrocarbons. However, it's not without criticism. High living costs and a strong focus on the ultra-wealthy have led to questions about inclusivity, and environmentalists continue to raise concerns about the long-term impact of such developments on marine environments already vulnerable to rising sea levels. Returning to Dubai, one can't ignore Palm Jumeirah, the most iconic and successful of the Emirates' artificial islands. Unveiled in 2001, the palm-shaped marvel expanded Dubai's coastline by over 80 kilometers and quickly became a global benchmark for luxury waterfront living. Constructed with more than 120 million cubic meters of sand and rock, Palm Jumeirah was built using natural materials instead of concrete foundations, with Dutch engineering firms Van Oord and Boskalis leading the effort. Its structure consists of a trunk lined with residential towers and commercial outlets, 17 fronds hosting private beachfront villas, and an outer crescent acting as a breakwater, home to some of Dubai's most famous resorts. By 2006, the first homes were ready, and the 2009 opening of Atlantis the Palm cemented the island's status as a premier tourist destination. Today, it's a bustling micro-city featuring luxury hotels, beach clubs, fine dining, and entertainment venues. Transport within the island includes the Palm monorail, which connects the mainland to the crescent via the trunk. Real estate on Palm Jumeirah is among the most exclusive in the world. Signature villas, private beaches, and panoramic sea views draw billionaires, celebrities, and investors. Developments like One Palm by Omniat have pushed luxury to new heights, with penthouses selling for over $20 million. Despite their differing styles and timelines, all these islands share a common thread: the bold reimagining of geography to fulfill human vision. Whether as luxury enclaves, economic zones, or symbols of national ambition, artificial islands are no longer rare novelties. They are becoming vital extensions of coastal cities, reshaping skylines, ecosystems, and urban futures, one dredged patch of sea at a time. The Palm in Dubai stands out as a global luxury icon, not just for its unique palm tree shape, but also for its collection of high-end experiences. At the heart of this man-made marvel is a world-class resort offering attractions like the enormous Aqua Venture Water Park, the Lost Chambers Aquarium, and gourmet dining from renowned chefs such as Gordon Ramsay and Nobu Matsuhisa. Nearby, the Point Waterfront District draws visitors with the city's largest dancing fountain, over 80 dining venues, and a mix of retail spaces. For shopping enthusiasts, Nakheel Mall on the Trunk delivers an upscale blend of boutiques, entertainment options, and fine dining. For sweeping views, the 52nd floor observation deck at the View at the Palm offers an unmatched panorama of Dubai's skyline and coastline. Farther south in the Indian Ocean, Hulhu Malay in the Maldives represents a different kind of innovation. Unlike other island developments that cater primarily to tourism, this artificial island was constructed to address urban overcrowding in Malé, the nation's capital. Inaugurated in 2004, Hulhu Malay was envisioned as a smart, sustainable city that integrates green design, resilient infrastructure, and modern conveniences. Elevated 2 meters above sea level, it provides greater protection against the rising tides that threaten this low-lying island nation. Covering about 4 square kilometers, the island includes wide roads, landscaped walkways, and residential areas built with eco-conscious design. It's not just a home for locals, but a hybrid community where Maldivian culture blends with a modern urban lifestyle. Unlike luxury-only resort islands, Hulhu Malay offers options for both budget travelers and high-end tourists, featuring hotels, commercial hubs, a public artificial beach, and direct connectivity to the international airport. Taking this vision further, the Ras Malay project, launched in December 2023, represents the largest land reclamation effort in the Maldives to date. Planned to reclaim approximately 1,500 hectares, this zero-carbon city is being developed with a focus on renewable energy and sustainable building practices. Accessibility and inclusivity are at the core of its design, with infrastructure tailored to meet the needs of individuals with disabilities. A new airstrip and connecting bridge are set to enhance the island's logistical potential, strengthening its role as an economic catalyst. Despite early delays, work resumed in late 2024, with the government aiming to complete reclamation in just 8 months. Once realized, Ras Malay will redefine the region's urban landscape and set a precedent for eco-conscious development in climate-vulnerable areas. In Europe, Austria's Danube Island emerged from necessity rather than luxury. Originally built during the 1970s as a flood control system to protect Vienna, this artificial island evolved into one of the city's most beloved green retreats. Covered in millions of trees and bushes, it has become an ecological gem and a vital recreational space. Residents and tourists alike enjoy its extensive parks, walking trails, and cycling routes. Over time, the island also gained a reputation for nightlife and cultural events, offering a natural escape in the heart of the capital. Turning to Southeast Asia, Indonesia's Great Garuda project was born out of urgency. With Jakarta facing severe land subsidence and rising sea levels, authorities initiated this mega-scale plan to protect the capital from chronic flooding. Named after the nation's mythical bird, the project involves constructing a 32-kilometer seawall shaped like a Garuda and a series of artificial islands designed to double as both flood defenses and new urban districts. It's part of a broader coastal development strategy aimed at transforming the capital into a resilient and economically dynamic area. However, concerns over environmental damage to marine life and the livelihoods of local fishing communities have led to public criticism. Financial constraints and political debates have also slowed progress, prompting the government to consider alternative solutions such as relocating the capital to East Kalimantan. Still, The Great Garuda remains a bold statement on sustainable urban planning in the face of ecological challenges. Back in the Western Hemisphere, the Venetian Islands in Miami's Biscayne Bay showcase early 20th century ambition in creating an exclusive island chain for the elite. Connected by the Venetian Causeway, these islands offer sweeping views of Miami's skyline and remain a real estate haven for the world's wealthy. Lavish homes, private docks, and a steady parade of yachts define the lifestyle here. Each island, such as San Marco, Rivo Alto, and San Marino, has its own character but shares a sense of prestige and privacy. Belle Isle, the most urbanized among them, includes high-rise condos and landscaped waterfront parks, adding a slightly denser feel to the otherwise villa-dominated community. The causeway itself is a scenic route popular with joggers and cyclists, offering a unique connection between downtown Miami and the beach. On the U.S. West Coast, Balboa Island in Newport Beach, California, offers a different flavor of artificial island life. Divided into three parts, Balboa Island, Little Balboa Island, and Collins Island, this tightly packed neighborhood houses around 3,000 residents. Despite its small footprint, it boasts multi-million-dollar waterfront homes and a charming atmosphere preserved through decades. Marine Avenue, the island's main street, is lined with boutique shops, old-school diners, and art galleries. The historic Balboa Island Ferry, operating since 1919, continues to transport visitors and vehicles, reinforcing the island's nostalgic charm while keeping it connected to the mainland. Balboa Island proves that even the most compact man-made spaces can offer vibrant, community-driven living. Balboa Island in Newport Beach, California, is a compact yet vibrant community comprising three sections: Balboa Island, Little Balboa Island, and Collins Island. Despite its small footprint, it's one of the most densely populated parts of Orange County, with around 3,000 residents living in tightly packed, multi-million-dollar waterfront homes. The island is linked to the mainland via the Marine Avenue Bridge and is also served by the historic Balboa Island Ferry, which has transported passengers and vehicles since 1919. Walking down Marine Avenue, visitors are met with a charming blend of boutique stores, gourmet bakeries, upscale restaurants, and local favorites like Dad's Donuts, renowned for its frozen bananas and Balboa bars. The island hosts essential services including a post office, fire station, and yacht clubs, and it caters to a mix of residents, vacationers, and boating enthusiasts. Its serene waterfront promenade offers views of Newport Harbor, while pedestrian-friendly streets preserve a quaint, village-like feel. Off the coast of Haikou in China, the Nanhai Pearl Artificial Island is being developed into a premier entertainment and hospitality destination. Still under construction, it will eventually feature luxurious hotels, cruise ship terminals, a modern theme park, and even shipyards. A single bridge connects the island to the mainland, ensuring accessibility for future tourists. Unlike some of China's controversial man-made islands with military implications, this one is positioned purely as a leisure and tourism venture. Hong Kong's Lantau. Tomorrow Vision aims to reshape the region's urban landscape by reclaiming around 1,700 hectares of land east of Lantau Island. The plan involves creating a cluster of artificial islands to house up to 1.1 million people, providing 400,000 housing units, many designated for public use. It is also expected to create commercial spaces and bolster Hong Kong's economy with job opportunities and new business districts. An advanced transportation network, including bridges and rail systems, is part of the initiative to connect these new spaces to the city. However, the project has ignited debate, with critics citing ecological damage, risk from rising sea levels, and a projected cost exceeding $60 billion. In India, Willingdon Island in Kochi, Kerala, may not be visually extravagant, but it stands out due to its strategic and economic significance. Created in 1936 to support the modernization of the Kochi port, the island was named after Lord Willingdon, then Viceroy of India. During World War II, it served as a critical British military base and hosted an RAF aerodrome. Post-independence, the island evolved into a hub for trade, shipping, and defense, housing the Southern Naval Command and the Cochin Port Trust. It also includes international container terminals, luxury hotels, banks, and offices, alongside a residential community supported by schools, parks, and recreational spaces. Paberholm, an artificial island in the Ersun Strait, connects Denmark and Sweden as part of the Öresund Bridge Tunnel project. Constructed for practical infrastructure needs, it transitions traffic between bridge and tunnel, allowing unimpeded shipping traffic. Uniquely, Pepperholm has been left to develop naturally, becoming a sanctuary for biodiversity with over 450 plant species and multiple bird colonies establishing themselves there. It exemplifies how engineering and nature can coexist when intentionally balanced. South Africa's Camphors Dam Island near Kimberley represents a different kind of man-made success. Constructed in 2006, it serves as a sanctuary for lesser flamingos, providing critical nesting grounds for nearly 50,000 birds. Built by mining company Akapa using over 26,000 tons of material, the island was designed with input from ornithologists and includes over 1,000 artificial nest turrets. The surrounding lake is rich in algae and diatoms, forming an ideal feeding environment. Despite its conservation success, ongoing human activities pose a threat, and environmentalists continue to push for protective measures. Perhaps the most politically charged example of artificial island building lies in the South China Sea, where China has executed a wide-reaching campaign of land reclamation. Through extensive dredging, China has transformed reefs and submerged features into fortified military outposts. These islands, such as Fiery Cross Reef, Subi Reef, and Mischief Reef, now feature long runways, deep-water harbors, radar systems, missile batteries, and military hangars, despite China's initial claims that the structures were for civilian use. The installations significantly expand Beijing's control over a region through which over $5 trillion in annual trade flows and have intensified disputes with neighboring countries like Vietnam, the Philippines, and Malaysia. The Spratly and Paracel Islands, long disputed zones, have been turned into military assets under China's controversial 9-line claim. The aggressive expansion, particularly at sites like Scarborough Shoal, has strained regional relations and prompted concerns over restricted fishing rights and military escalation. Analysts warn these heavily fortified outposts could trigger wider conflict if territorial tensions boil over, pulling regional and global powers into a potentially volatile confrontation. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this exploration of humanity's boldest island ventures, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And don't miss the next video on your screen. It's an unbelievable journey you won't want to skip.